Well, hello, beautiful, gorgeous, amazing you. I want to speak to you about something that's quite important. Have you ever had those moments where you've looked in the mirror and thought, who am I? Yes, it depends what has happened, whether it's the breakdown of a relationship or transitioning in your workplace, whatever that is, but it's something that's pivotal, that changes your outside life. So then you start to think, oh my gosh, who am I now? Well, never fear. Even though we're all going through that at some point in our lives, we know it doesn't stay that way. And what I want to do is to come here and share my journey with the hope that it will assist you in finding who you truly are, rediscovering yourself when you are transitioning and going through life. My name is Janet Riney and I am emotional health and well-being coach who assists you to move beyond stress, anxiety and emotional upset so that you can live a life you have yet to imagine. So what does that mean? Let me share with you my example of how I began to rediscover who I was. Now, following the breakdown of my relationship just a couple of years ago, I woke up one morning thinking, who am I now? Like, the relationship was no longer there. My partner was no longer living with me. The emotions that I'd been through, the upset, the anxiety, all of these different things culminated at this time, about 3 months after the breakdown of the relationship. And it was, who am I? Looking in the mirror. And so these are the steps that I took to rediscover who I was. The first step is just to be still. And what I'm saying about being still, when things have changed or have been a bit too angst ridden for me, what happens is I can lose myself in work or, bury myself in something, in the doing. In being still, I had to sit with those thoughts that were emerging, to recognize them, to notice them, not to necessarily respond to them, because I recognize the nature of thought and how thoughts can pass if we don't focus on them. However, in those moments, it was to be still, to recognize and see the thoughts that were passing through and that I was experiencing. Secondly, it was to experience the thoughts, the feelings that were emerging at that time. Remember before when I've said that I have buried myself in work or buried myself in the doing of life. But in being still, I allowed myself to experience the feelings, not to run away from them, because feelings can't hurt you. And in recognizing that, I experienced all the hurt, the pain, the loss, because I also recognized that that was part of the journey. The third thing I did was to journal, was to allow myself to write those thoughts out that I was having. Have you heard of morning pages? If not, morning pages is the first thing in the morning. You just get your book and you just write and continue to write until those thoughts just stop, without any assessment, without any judgment. And what's beautiful about that is that thoughts that are arising, that are coming to you, they're not necessarily the conscious things that you're going to be thinking about. It starts off that way, but then as you just continue to write and continue to flow, it's that stream of consciousness that comes through. And there are so many thoughts that we don't notice on a day-to-day basis. So doing the morning pages, using that approach, allowed me to see the different thoughts that were coming through. Again, just to witness, not to judge, just to observe. What happened after that then was the fun part, which I said the fun part, which was the experimentation, looking at the things that I had done whilst in the relationship, who I'd become whilst in the relationship, and looking at what are those traits, what are those thoughts, what are those activities that I wanted to continue, what are the ones that I wanted to fall away, and what are the new things that I wanted to explore. So for example, At one point, I was doing art and batik because I used to love that at school. And it was a thought that popped up for me during my morning pages. And I thought, okay, let me try it out. Now, I went to a couple of sessions, loved it, but it wasn't something that I wanted to continue. See, that's the experimentation. At this stage in my life, who I am becoming and evolving to be now, is this something that I want to continue to do? So that was the next stage, the experimentation. And finally, the fifth stage is that continuing evolving, that I'm constantly recognizing and seeing, okay, is this how or what I want to do right now? There are thoughts of my old relationship, but I recognize that I'm no longer that person, and I'm evolving, and I continue to grow, and I continue to notice the thoughts that are coming and going. I continue to look at the things that I want to stay and be part of this Janet now, and the things that are going to go. So in looking at the journey, it has been about acknowledging where I am right here and right now, being still, witnessing the thoughts that come up. If journaling is something that you do, then also it allows you to witness and observe the thoughts that you hadn't seen before. The fourth step is to experiment. What do you want to keep? What do you want to let go of? What do you want to see as new? And finally, continue on the journey. It never ends, because you continue to evolve as this new you. And in that evolution, you become happier with the person you're choosing to be in this moment. So hopefully those tips, my journey, has assisted you or can assist you in your own journey as you continue to rediscover who you are after the end of a relationship. And if you want to find out more, click the link below where we're going to be having a conversation to find out what would assist you more on this journey of rediscovery. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye.